Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnana-salakaya Chakshurmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya-manobhishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupagada Maya Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Guru Sri Rupam Sagar Jatam Sahagana Ragana Tanvitam Sang Sajivam Sarvetam Sabadutam Harijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitangscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Sapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakopa Chubascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskritya Naramachaiva Narotamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayim Udirayed Nasta Preshu Badreshu Nityam Bhagavat Shevaya Bhagavad Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistaki. Today, October 16th, Thursday, 2025, we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, the fourth canto, the creation of the fourth order. Chapter 30, the activities of the Prachetas. Today we're going to do two verses, text number 9 and 10. We will not do 9 responsively, but 10 we will. Yo nus smarati sanjayam yushmad anudinam naraha tasya bhaprish atmasamyam tata bhuteshu sauhridam. The Lord continued, those who remember you every evening of every day will become friendly with their brothers and all other living entities. Who is he speaking of? Those who remember you. Who's you? The Prachetas. They've offered the mantras chanted by Lord Shiva, and the Lord has appeared. And now the Lord is giving a soliloquy and glorifying the Prachetas. Those who remember you every evening of every day. That is a tall order. But it's possible. Become friendly with their brothers and all other living entities. Text number 10. Yetu mam rudra gitena sayam prata samahitaha suvantyaham kamavaran dasye pragyam cha shobhanam Yetu mam rudra gitena Sayam prata samahitaha. Suvantyaham kamavaran. Kamavaran, not kamavaran. See the long and the short? Kamavaran. Dasye pragyam cha shobhanam. Yetumam ruda gitena. Sayam prata samahitaha. Suvantyaham kamavaran. Dase pragyam cha shobhanam. Please chant. Jetumam rudra gitena. Sayam prata samahitaha. Suvantyaham kamavaran. Dase pragyam cha shobhanam. Mama rudra gitena. Sayam prata samahitaha. Suvantyaham kamavaran. Dasye pragyam cha shobhanam.
Jetumam rudra gitena.
Jetumam rudra gitena.
Sayam prata samahita.
Sayam prata samahitaha.
Suvantyaham kamavaran.
Sumadyaham kamavaran.
Dasye pranyam cha sobhanam.
Dase pragyam cha shobhanam. Very good. These synonyms, please repeat. Yea.
Yea.
Those persons who.
Those persons who.
To. But.
But.
Mam. Unto me.
Unto me.
Rudra gitena.
Rudra gitena.
By the song sung by Lord Shiva.
By the song sung by Lord Shiva.
Sayam.
Sayam.
In the evening.
Evening.
Prataha.
Prata.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Samahitaha.
Samahita.
Being attentive.
Being attentive.
Stuvanti.
Stuvanti.
Offer prayers.
Offer prayers.
Aham. I. Kamavaran.
Kamavaran.
All benedictions to fulfill desires.
All benedictions for desires.
Dasye.
Dasye.
Shall award.
Shall award.
Pragyam.
Pranyam.
Intelligence.
Intelligence.
Cha.
Cha.
Also.
Also.
Shobhanam.
Shobhanam.
Transcendental.
Transcendental.
Translation. By His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Those who offer me the prayers composed by Lord Shiva, both in the morning and in the evening, will be given benedictions by me. In this way, they can both fulfill their desires and attain good intelligence. Please repeat. Those who will offer me
Those who offer me
the prayers composed by Lord Shiva,
prayers composed by Lord Shiva,
both in the morning and in the evening,
both in the morning and the evening,
will be given benedictions by me.
will be given benediction by me.
In this way, they can both fulfill their desires
In this way they can both fulfill their desires
and attain good intelligence.
and attain good intelligence.
Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Good intelligence means going back home, back to Godhead. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 10:10. Tesham satata yukta nama bhajatama priti purvakam dadami buddhi jogam tam jaina mam upayanti te. To those who are constantly devoted and worship me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. One who offers prayers to the Lord to fulfill his different desires must know that the highest perfectional fulfillment of desire is to go back home, back to Godhead. In this verse, it is indicated that those who remember the activities of the prachetas, the sons of King Prachina Barhishat, will be delivered and blessed. So what to speak of the sons of King Prachina Barhishat, who are directly connected with the Supreme Personality of Godhead? This is the way of the Parampara system. If we follow the Acharyas, we will attain the same benefit as our predecessors. If one follows the decisions of Arjuna, he should be considered to be directly hearing Bhagavad Gita from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is no difference between hearing Bhagavad Gita directly from the Supreme Lord and following a personality like Arjuna, who formerly heard Bhagavad Gita directly from the Lord. Sometimes foolish people argue that since Krishna is not present at the moment, one cannot take direct instructions from him. Sometimes we hear different foolish statements that people make about Krishna and Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada says, such foolish people do not know that there is no difference between directly hearing Bhagavad Gita and reading it, as long as one accepts Bhagavad Gita as it is, spoken by the Lord. However, if one wants to understand Bhagavad Gita by his imperfect interpretations, one cannot possibly understand the mysteries of Bhagavad Gita, even though one may be a great scholar, according to mundane estimation. Very nice purport. So many salient points, so many realizations one can derive from Prabhupada's expert explanation. Tesham, up a little further. Yetu mamaruda gitena sayam prata samahitaha suvantyaham kamavaran nase pragyam sushobhanam. We won't repeat the translation because we're already going way past the time. So, very interesting use of words here. The word pragyam. Gya refers to jnana or knowledge. Then there's vijnana. V is an intensifier. So the meaning of vijnana, you could say, oh, it's like super knowledge, but it means realization. So there's theoretical knowledge, but beyond that type of knowledge where one may theoretically understand something is realization. That's called vijnana. And those are two of the qualities of a brahmana, jnana and vijnana, as explained in the 18th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. So, for example, the statement that I am not this body, I am spirit soul. So we may hear that and be able to repeat it and understand it intellectually. Yes, that's a very good concept. That explains a lot. That explains about my identity and my experience in this world, that I'm not simply this body, which that explanation doesn't satisfy one, because the body is limited and temporary, and the spirit soul is unlimited and eternal. So for the spirit soul to think, I am this body, that is not satisfying at all. It's incomplete, it's insufficient. It does not account for the facts as they are on the ground. But when one hears that I am the eternal spirit who's changing bodies, going from body to body, aha, that explains everything. That is good. So one becomes enlightened in this way. But still, there is another level that one can go from that jnana, and that is vijnana. And then in vijnana, one actually realizes one's nature as soul and acts on that platform. It's no longer just theoretical knowledge. It's not just a statement. not just words or not just a concept, but one realizes I am the eternal spirit soul, and one acts on that platform. And that is true enlightenment. That is vijnana, realization. So that is what we want. We hanker for that as a spirit soul. We don't just want to hear, give me the facts. Just give me the facts. No, we don't want just the facts. We want to hear the facts. We want to assimilate that knowledge. And then we want to act on that platform. And when we act on that platform, then we get realization from within. And that is explained in this purport. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam jainamam upayanti te. That Krishna says, Tesham satata yuktanam, to those who are satata yuktanam, always engaged. Satata means always, and yuktanam, yukta means connected. Those who are always connected to me in service. Bhajatam priti purvakam, and who are worshiping me with love, with actual love. Priti purvakam, purva means complete. So those who are completely in love with Krishna, bhajatam, worshiping him and always serving him, then what is the result? Dadami buddhi yogam tam. Krishna says, I give them dadami, I am giving buddhi yogam, which means, buddhi means intelligence, and yoga means also connection to Krishna through devotional service. I give them buddhi yogam. I give them that spiritual intelligence, that non-material understanding and experience. Jainamam upayanti te, and then they come closer and closer and closer to me. Yeah. So the more we serve Krishna, the more Krishna gives us buddhi yoga. And the more we receive that buddhi yoga, then the more realization we have how to better serve Krishna, even more and more, closer and closer, better and better. That's given by Krishna. It's a gift to the devotee. This shloka from chapter 10, verse 10, is one of the chatur shloki. Chatur means four, and shloka means verse. So the chatur shloki doesn't just mean 4 verses. It means the 4 seed verses, or the 4 most quintessential verses of the Bhagavad Gita. Beginning with verse 9, aham sarvasya prabhavo matak sarvam pravarjate iti bhatva bhujante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. And then progressing further, Krishna says that aham sarvasya prabhavo, I am the source of everything. In case you didn't understand that, aham sarvasya prabhavo matak sarvam pravartate. I am the source of everything. And then he says it another way, from me everything is coming. All right, so you got it. In case you didn't get it on the first line, the second line reinforces it, which is a nice way of Krishna is preaching and he's teaching. That is how the enlightenment comes about, through the preaching and the teaching. And the wise who know this engage in devotional service, is the next part of that verse, and worship me with all their hearts. So those who are wise, who have some buddhi or some good intelligence, which is spoken about in today's verse, then they worship Krishna within their hearts. Oh, that's very nice. And then Tesham satata yuktanam, and to such persons who are always engaging in my service, as mentioned in verse 9, with love and attachment and devotion, which is called the bhakti, then dadami buddhi yogam tam. I don't hold back, Krishna is saying. I give them the understanding, the realization, the enlightenment. And he goes on further, explaining that I destroy within their heart, by the shining lamp of knowledge, spiritual knowledge and realization, the darkness that is born of ignorance. And that darkness is something we carry in our heart because of ignorance of our position, our true position as spirit soul. But Krishna, he wipes out that darkness. He turns on the floodlight. He switches it on. Boom. There's no more dark place left. So that's why the Chatur Shlokis, the quintessential verses, which are the heart of the Gita, right in the middle of the Gita, because it explains who Krishna is. He's the source of everything. Everything's coming from him. And the devotees, they understand this. They're wise, and they worship Krishna. And then Krishna gives them the intelligence. Not only he gives them the intelligence, but he removes the darkness from the heart with the shining lamp of knowledge. And then also explains how the devotees, they take delight in serving Krishna and in conversing with one another, enlightening one another about topics of Krishna consciousness. So that Chatur Shloki is the heart of Gita. It's about what happens to the devotee within his heart. And Krishna says elsewhere that I am in the heart of my devotees, and the devotees are in my heart. He says, I know no one but them, and they know no one but me. That's another verse from the Puranas. So this is Krishna opening the door and letting in the light. Tamasir Ma, Jyotir Gamanya, it is said in the Vedas that don't remain in the darkness, but go towards the light. And that attachment to this temporary material manifestation for the purpose of trying to enjoy it, that is the darkness. So don't remain in that darkness. Don't remain attached to the temporary manifestations of Krishna's energy. And don't try to enjoy them as if you were, your body and your senses were the instruments of enjoyment, because they are not. They're instruments, but they are constitutionally meant to be instruments of service to Krishna and enlightenment. The enlightenment that comes about as a result of using those instruments, not for sense gratification. No, I don't want to hear that. The whole world, yes, you're not this body, you're not meant to enjoy these senses. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. I don't want to hear about that. No. Because my mission in life for the conditioned soul is what? To enjoy the senses. That's the mission of everyone. What is this God? Forget about God. I want to become God. I want to be the enjoyer. So that is the classic conditioned soul. And so when we explain that, no, you are not this body, you're not the senses, and you're the eternal soul within, but you are not meant to use these senses as objects of enjoyment. You're not meant to gratify the senses of the body, but you're meant to use those senses in the service of the Lord. The human body is a gift, and it's meant to be used for the service of the Lord. And it's like, thanks, but no thanks, for the most part, on the part of the conditioned souls. But when one is sufficiently frustrated in material existence and finding that the process of sense gratification, it is not working. It is not satisfying me. I'm not becoming satisfied. Actually, it's making me more dissatisfied. I'm already dissatisfied. I'm becoming more and more dissatisfied and frustrated. And I need some answers. Why is this? Why am I in this condition of frustration and desperation and unhappiness? What is the cause? And who am I? And why am I here? How come I can't, how come I don't have it going on the way it should be going on? Because everyone has that in their heart. That what should be going on? I should be happy by serving Krishna. So everyone has that in their heart. Naturally, it's there because why? Because that's who we are. We're the servants of Krishna. And when we're not properly engaged in that way, then we're like, Gayami, Sanatana Goswami said to Lord Chaitanya. Although Sanatana Goswami is a very advanced, elevated Vaishnava, not only that, he's a gopi from Krishna's Leela. But playing the part, portraying himself as if he were a conditioned soul, for our benefit, and asking the question, why am I, who am I? And why are the threefold miseries beating down on my head? So you kindly explain that to me, Lord Chaitanya, even though he already knows the answer. He's a fully enlightened, realized, exalted personality, one of Krishna's associates, but playing the part in order to elicit this this conversation from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for the enlightenment of everyone, as if it were he who required enlightenment, but actually not. But everyone else requires enlightenment. He knows, he already knows, but just for our benefit, because we can identify with that. Yeah, he's asking, who am I? It's like, that's a good question, because who the heck am I? Yeah, I want to know too. What's the answer? This is interesting. He's asking this question. I want to know the answer to this question. And yes, why am I suffering the threefold miseries? Why is Maya kicking me around? I'm not happy. I'm not satisfied. I'm suffering like anything. What is the answer? I want enlightenment. I want to know who I really am. And what is my real business? And in this way, maybe I have a chance to become happy, because right now, it is not happening. This is not happening for me. Like my stepfather used to say, you ain't making it, big buddy. Whenever he was, not happy with the behavior of one of his stepchildren. You ain't making it. So we ain't making it, big buddy, here in this material world. And we need the solution. And intrinsically, we have this feeling that this knowledge, this enlightenment will make us happy, because then we will understand what is our true position, what is our true nature, what is the true meaning of our existence, and how we can engage ourselves in such a way as to remain on that platform instead of suffering like a veritable dog in this world. So we're very grateful to Sanatana Goswami for portraying himself like a conditioned soul, which sometimes Bhaktivinoda Thakur also does in his writings. Why am I suffering? What is the answer? I want the answer. And I know that answer will lift me up, will improve me vastly. And is, of course, the experience of anyone who takes to Krishna consciousness, the experience of you all, that when we inquire and we receive this enlightenment, this understanding, then the quality of our existence immediately vastly improves. And not only does it immediately vastly improve, but it continues to improve. Day by day, month by month, year by year. It is the testimony of anyone who practices Krishna consciousness for a long time. That person will be like, yeah, this is it. it just keeps getting better. You know, they have this thing. There was actually, when I was a kid, there was one beer commercial, you know, they played during the football game. You know, something like, you know, the guy has the beer, he's enjoying life, and it doesn't get any better than this. For him, it probably doesn't. But it can get better, and it does get better if you practice Krishna consciousness. But it keeps getting better. That's the nature of the spiritual energy. It keeps improving. It keeps expanding. One goes deeper. One gets mercy from Krishna. And what is the result of getting mercy from Krishna? Jaina mam upayanti te. One is brought closer to Krishna. And the closer one is brought to Krishna, then the more one becomes eager to become even more close. So, oh, I'm coming closer. Let me come even closer. And then the more one becomes close, the more one's consciousness becomes enlightened, and the more one perceives things in a non-material way. And the more that happens, the more one becomes eager to accelerate that process and expand that process. You become even closer. Oh, I'm coming closer. Let me come even more closer. As Jadharani used to say, the result of Krishna consciousness is more Krishna consciousness. So as we practice Krishna consciousness, we become more Krishna conscious. Day by day by day by day, month, year, like that, decade by decade. And the more that expands in our life, the more we desire it. And therefore we dive deeper into the ocean of transcendental realization. It's like diving deeper into the ocean, seeing, oh, there are so many things in the ocean. Like they have those National Geographic movies of underwater and the tropical places. You see all these brightly colored far out fish and the coral reefs. And, you know, so the more you dive, the deeper you want to dive to experience all the variegatedness of the spiritual energy. And getting a taste of that, then you want that taste more and more. You hanker after that taste. So, in the Gita, in the 4th chapter, which I had all lined up here and then I messed it up. Get it here. I want to look at closely, zoom in on this verse from the Gita 4:3. Krishna tells Arjuna that Saivayam maya teja yogo prakto puratanaha bhaktosi me sakha cheti rahasya hitad uttamam. That very ancient science of the relationship with the Supreme is today told by me to you, because you are my devotee as well as my friend, and therefore can understand the transcendental mystery of this science. Rahasyam means mystery, and uttamam means transcendental. So, bhaktosi me sakacheti rahasyam etad uttamam. You can certainly understand this transcendental mystery. You're qualified because you're my devotee and because you are my friend. So he's got like, double trouble qualification there. He's a devotee and he's Krishna's friend. It's in a perfect position. So Prabhupada explains this in the purport of today's Bhagavatam verse, that just by speculating, you can't understand the mystery of Bhagavad Gita. But if you become a devotee, then you can understand. So that is one qualification. for becoming enlightened, you have to become a devotee and surrender to Krishna. And Tesham Satata Yuktanam, always be engaged in Krishna's service. Bhajatam Priti Purvakam, devotee means with love. Bhajatam Priti Purvakam, completely serving Krishna with love. And then he reveals everything to you. But if you're not a devotee and not serving Krishna with love or with any other emotion, then you can't understand it. It's impossible. Prabhupada calls that trying to taste the honey by licking the bottle on the outside. Now, if you have a not clean honey bottle and it's dripping and it's not cleaned properly and you close the lid and there's some on the outside, you can taste that a little bit. So therefore, one should always clean, like the agave, if you're using, you clean it. But if you're licking that clean bottle, you're not tasting anything. You taste the label, the glue, and, the glass. It didn't taste good. You want the honey. You want the nectar. So you have to proverbially open the jar to taste the honey. So to get the honey of Krishna's lotus feet, the act of opening the jar means the act of opening your heart and giving yourself to Krishna. Then you have access to the contents of the jar. But just having the jar won't get you anywhere. No, you have to be able to access the honey within. So to taste the nectar of Krishna consciousness, you have to take that lid off your heart and give your heart to Krishna. Then you can really taste the nectar. But not otherwise. And Prabhupada makes the point at the end of the purport in today's verse that just by speculating, you may be a very expert scholar in knowing Sanskrit verbal conjugation and declension of nouns and all grammatical jugglery and all these things, but that will not open the door. That is licking the bottle from the outside. And therefore you can't understand. So you have to become a devotee. But a devotee can understand. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has synthesized the different philosophies of all the four sampradayas in the form of the Achintya Beda Tattva philosophy. That verse. Can't remember it right now. Beda Prakash. That the Lord and the living entities are one yet different. We are one with yet different from God. Achintya. And that it's actually that Beda Tattva is Achintya. It's actually inconceivable. It's like contradictory. How can you understand it? But by becoming a devotee, you can actually quite easily understand it. You can grasp it. And Jiva Goswami goes to great pains in his writings to present this philosophy of Achintya Beda Tattva as presented by Lord Chaitanya, which it's not something new. It's not just something out of the clear blue. It's in the Bhagavad Gita. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagadav yakta murtina matstani sarvabhutani nachaham teshvatas avashtitaha. Krishna says that I am there, but I am not there. So what is that? Some kind of like a Buddhist conundrum, what is the sound of one hand clapping? Yeah. There's another joke about that, but it's in bad taste. I'm not going to tell it here. But or some Zen Roshi laughing and smiling and telling conundrum realizations which no one can understand, because why can no one understand? Because it doesn't make any sense. But the devotee can grasp this understanding. Yeah, that's Jivara Swupoi Krishnara Nityadas. That the real Swarup of the Jiva is Krishnara Nityadas. He's eternally Nityadas. He's eternally the servant of Krishna. Krishnara Tatasta Shakti. Veda Veda Prakash. So that's Chaitanya Charitamrita. So it's the same thing. Maya Tatam Idam Sarvam. Yes, Krishna says, I am present everywhere within this universe, but at the same time, I am not present. I am simultaneously, inconceivably one with and different from the universe, from the Jagat, and from the Jivas. And all the different philosophies of the four Sampradayas, which we explained in the last class about Madhvacharya. We explained those different, the Shishta Dvaita, Shuddha Dvaita, Dvaita Dvaita. But then the synthesis and conclusion of all that understanding and realization comes in the form of Achintya Beta Beta Prakash. And that is part of the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is to amalgamate and concentrate all the knowledge of the four Sampradayas, the four Sampradayas are all bona fide Sampradayas. And they all have realizations from different angles of vision. But when you take all those concepts and those various angles of vision and combine them, then you have Achintya Beta Beta Tattva, the synthesis of the real understanding of the absolute truth. And that is the wonder of Lord Chaitanya. After all, he's Krishna himself. He can present things in that way, in an enlightening way, to complete our understanding and eradicate all confusion. You'll notice that in those four Sampradayas, there are no Mayavadis. There is no Mayavad philosophy. That is the contribution of Shankaracharya. But that is outside the four Sampradayas. But still, we take the help of Shankaracharya, like in Gita Bhashya. The Gita Bhashya, Shankaracharya says that let there be one book for the whole world, Bhagavad Gita. Let there be one work for everyone, devotional service of Krishna. Let there be one mantra, the Hare Krishna mantra, for everyone. So he's glorifying Krishna. I mean, he preached the Sharirika Bhashya, but there are many nice things he said about Krishna consciousness that are fantastic, because he's, after all, Lord Shiva. But still, that Sharirika Bhashya, that is outside the four Sampradayas. So, Sampradaya Vihinaye Mantrashte Nishpalas Priha. That if one receives some mantra and it's not as within the parampara, the Sampradaya system, then it will have no effect. And even in today's verse, there's mention of that. Now, if you're following Arjuna, then you're in parampara, and it's the same thing as hearing directly from Krishna. So reading Bhagavad Gita, what Krishna has instructed, when it's received in parampara, how are we receiving it in parampara? Through Srila Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Baladev Vijubhushan, Narottam Das Thakur, the six Goswamis, they're all receiving in parampara through Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, by receiving Bhagavad Gita in that way and reading it, that's hearing directly from Krishna. The result is the same. It's not something different. Oh, Rupa Goswami said something, but that's different. No, it is the same. It is the same. It is parampara. And that's how one must receive Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, Prabhupada says, Bhagavad Gita as it is. Not Bhagavad Gita as it never was, or Bhagavad Gita as someone conceived it through speculation, like many commentators who are speculators. They say, oh, the five Pandavas means the five senses, and the battle of Kurukshetra is the body, and this and that, and it's not to Krishna, you have to surrender. Like Dr. Radhakrishnan said, it's not to Krishna that one must, where Krishna says, surrender to me. Oh, it's not to Krishna you have to surrender. Although Krishna just said that. No, it's not. That's not what Krishna meant. No, what he means is you have to surrender to the unborn within Krishna. Some smoke is rising, and there's a big turban. Like Frank Zappa has one song called Cosmic Debris. And the line is, look here, brother, who you jiving with that cosmic debris? And then the jiver says, but I have the crystal ball. And he pulls it out, shaving kit, and he shows it to him. Look here, brother, don't you waste your time on me. So, yes, we like that because we don't want shucking and jiving and smoke and mirrors and some playing around and some word jugglery and some, material scholarship and screwing out different explanations. Tarko pratishta shutayo vibhina. You'll never receive the truth just by arguing and speculating and making up your own philosophy. No, you have to go through receive the knowledge through the parampara. Because dharmasya tatvam nihitam guhayam, the real truth of religion is hidden within the hearts of the unadulterated devotees who are coming in parampara. So hearing that Gita, Bhagavad Gita as it is, that is hearing Bhagavad Gita directly from Krishna. It's not different. And the result is the same. The result is the exact same result. That is the science. Evam para para praptam imam rajarsayo vidhu sakala nehimahata yoga nashta parandrapa. That the knowledge is lost to human society, but Krishna is passing it down in disciplic succession. And he has appeared to give Bhagavad Gita again, 3000 BC, to reestablish Dharma samstarpanartaya, sambhavami yuge yuge. Again and again he comes from time to time in this material world to reestablish the principles of religion and show us the way. So that is how to understand through this parampara, through hearing. And Krishna is saying in this verse that Rudra Gitena, because the Prachetas are chanting this Rudra Gitena, the Gita of Lord Shiva, that he has given them this mantras, they're chanting that, then that's parampara. And so they are receiving enlightenment because of following in parampara, in this case, Rudra Sampradaya, by chanting in the morning and the evening and being attentive. And he says that I'll benedict you and fulfill all your desires. So generally people are approaching God for even they may approach God in an ignorant way to fulfill their desires. Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz? My friends all drive Porsches. I must make amends. I worked hard all my life. So, no. What does Lord Chaitanya say about that? Nadhanam. No, I ain't asking for the big bucks. Najanam. No, I don't want to become like a big Facebook or YouTube commentator with so many followers. Nasundarim. I'm not trying to get the chicks. No. Kavitam ba jagadisha kamaye. I don't want any of this, oh Lord. Janmani Janmanishware Bhavatad Bhaktira Haitukita. I just want your devotional service. I'm not even asking for liberation. Janmani Janmanishware. Birth after birth. He's saying, I want your devotional service. So if he's saying, just give it to me, birth after birth, devotion to you, well, that's not asking for liberation. I'll take birth after birth. Just let me be your devotee. What does Satyavrat Muni say in the prayers to Lord Damodar? I do not pray to you for liberation nor any other boon. My only desire is that your childhood pastimes may constantly appear in my heart. Not even liberation. Just let me think of you. And let me see your Leela. Madhurya Leela Guna Rupa Nam Nam. Let me have access to that stream of broadcast within my heart. Okay, so we stop here. Any question, commentary, realization? Yes, sir.
Well, what are the external symptoms of Vigyan? What does that look like?
Yes. The external symptoms are a Vigyan, that one, no meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, no gambling, and that one, Satatam Kirtayanto Mam, one's always chanting about Krishna. Yantatascha Dridabhata, one is always endeavoring with great determination to serve the Lord, bowing down before Him, offering obeisances, Manmana, always thinking of Him, Mamamat Bhakto, becoming His devotee. Those are the symptoms. It's not hairstyle or dress. But hairstyle and dress can influence one's behavior, or they can symptomize one's consciousness also. But the real thing is, how is one engaged? What is one thinking about all the time? If you're thinking about Krishna, that is the symptom of one who is Krishna conscious. He's always thinking about Krishna, he's always talking about Krishna, he's always serving Krishna. He's always disturbing everyone else to be Krishna conscious too. And they're like, why are you disturbing me? Because you're in Maya, you need this, you need the dope slap. Wake up. Jeev Jago. Go to Chandra Bole, Lord Chaitanya saying, Jeev Jago, wake up. Why are you just wasting your time sleeping and, making yourself look beautiful and smell nice and going out and trying to enjoy? Why are you wasting your time like that? This life is temporary and miserable. Better you worship the Lord of the heart by chanting the name of the Lord. Good question. Thank you very much. I hope that satisfies the question. Anyone else? All right. Very good. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.